Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to the second episode of me trying to fix my first ever city in City Skylines. Now the first episode, believe it or not, actually went pretty well in terms of me trying to fix things. I got completely slated in the comment section in the last video for my 2 junctions that I created. And I mean, I knew that was going to happen, but did some of you just kind of forget what I said? You know, people moaning at me because they can't turn in certain directions. Guys, did you forget what I was doing? I kind of made them do that so I could initially see where the traffic was going. So this episode, I can then configure better junctions. Did you forget about that? It's okay. Your boy's got big boy trousers and I'm going to pull them up because today we're doing more stuff to make more improvements. Now, from last episode, we created these 2 junctions, and this is what I got slated for the most in the comment section, which at the moment they can't turn all the directions, and that was done on purpose. Like, these guys can kind of turn here, but you can't like go that way, you know what I mean? And it was all down to me understanding where the majority of the traffic is going to come from. And now when you take a look at it, it's coming from this direction to cut across there and straight across as well. And I got rid of a lot of the roads, which meant I extended the line of traffic leading in on both sides. Again, that was to kind of understand where they wanted to go, because I haven't played this city in so long. I'm still learning the routes that they're taking, the shortcuts that they're taking, for me to start adapting to it. And now as some time's passed since we've kind of done this, I understand what's going down. So now I can implement my fixes. And I said it like 4 or 5 times in the last episode, and still everybody got mad at me because it looked like they, you know, did you forget I said this stuff? But it's okay. It's okay. Hopefully, to this episode will solve some of your frustrations. So, we managed to clear a bulk of the traffic within the industrial area. That has been a huge, and I mean a huge success. Huge success right now. But if I implement or change anything down here, then we'll get the traffic back. And I know that because as it currently stands, you can only go in certain, directions. So when I allow the junctions to then change, we'll start implementing more traffic going in different areas. Now, what I want to do is I want to utilize trains a bit more, because one great thing is shipping cargo around the city via trains. It reduces the amount of vehicles on the road, thus reducing some traffic as well. So I'm going to create a couple of export areas within our industrial area over here. We have a train line that kind of ends just there, and we have a train line here which I could utilize to bring down to shorten the distance. I want to change this road here as it kind of comes in, because that's a weird starfish shape we've got going on right now, which is going to come straight down and go round and utilize these bridges a little bit more. And we're going to sort out these junctions as well to, have the turn-off roads where it comes down, splits into 2 lanes, and I will allow them to cross over and do what they need to do and have the dedicated turning lanes. And then these long roads that I cut off, now I understand them, I got to implement them back in and change a few things, because there's a lot of stuff within this metropolis area here that I don't like and I need to fix. So we'll come on to that once we've sorted all these out. So guys, if you are enjoying this episode, please remember, I need to break the city before I can fix it, okay? Please listen to what I'm saying, guys, and don't shout at me anymore. I'm just joking. If you are enjoying it, guys, please make sure you smash that like button down below. And if you are new around here, make sure you subscribe. I'm just playing on it. We've got so much more stuff to fix. So what I want to do is in here, because if you think about it, right, they go out of that way, they come in and out this way, and we've got this little system under here, which I do need to sort out this section a little bit better too. It's all good. I want to reduce the amount of vehicles coming in and out, and that is with bringing stuff in and out as well. So I'm going to drop in 2 export areas, cargo train terminals, within the middle of it, so they can like have a centralized location to where they can drop the goods off. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get rid of, let me pause it, that and that. What did I get rid of that? No, but yeah, we'll get rid of that and that. So we're not creating too many cut through roads. Do you know what, actually thinking about it, I don't need to do that. I really don't need to do that, because the way I'm going to approach doing this right now, I'm thinking I'm going to put the cargo train station directly in the middle. Nah, it ain't going to happen. What I'll do is, if I drop you, so it is going to destroy a lot of buildings, but we are doing it for the greater good. So one there, and I'll put this one over on, is that centralized? No, it's as close over as possible. This one there. The reason for it is, what they tend to do is go to the closest one available. So that rather than put it on the same strip of road, we kind of separate them. So these guys around here will get to this one. These guys around here get to this one. So I'm not getting the constant, backlog of traffic leading into it. Then what I want to do is I want to hook up the train line across the bridge right now. So if I ramp this up to +10, and if I do it here to go across to there as a big overhang bridge, and I need to lead these in. So that one's to there, which is this line just here. So if I continue this, it's a bit awkward because we kind of have to go slightly diagonal and whatnot to lead it all in. But we should be able to do it. That one's coming from over here, so pretty much I'm creating a turn. So if I bring it from, actually I should actually bring it from this way, so I'm getting the straight line. So that is that up by 10? What's going on with the road? Oh wow, that's actually quite far down, isn't it? I didn't realize how much it is sloped down right now. So if I bring it up to there, which I'll play around with the stuff in just a moment, bring that up to, let's say, here. If I delete just a large portion of that railway track, so I can then do a 7 by 7-ish bend and connect directly over. Alright, all good, all good, all good. And then for this one, again, I know I'm deleting a lot of buildings and whatnot, but it's kind of what we need to do in many ways. I'll then, because there's a recycling area just there, if I kind of bring that up to here, bend that as a 3 by 3 and to there, and then I bring in the train track that's connect to here. I then have 2 implementations in which I can bring trains in and out to import and export the goods. All I gotta do is make sure that the train track hooks up to the majority of the train network around the city, and we can get goods here and there. Hopefully. So yeah, I didn't realize it actually kind of bends down, which brings this station kind of down. So I'm going to elevate the road slightly and bring that to there so it's a more gradual incline and get this connected. So I think it will be a good idea to get it connected to this, because this will also benefit from having the trains run through, and I want it all on the ground. So bring it down to there. So it's actually set up to be up by 6. And I'm going to continue to make this follow all the way around to here. We'll bring it across. I want to give it a bit of space as well so I can implement the road coming down. Down to there. And if I lead it just up to there. And then what we'll do is we'll create the same type of connection that kind of passes over and then splits on this. That's how we'll get this working right now. So this can come out. And then we'll go for like a... Actually, we'll make it go out a bit further. And then we'll do a 10 by 10, but we'll come down by 5. 10 by 10, come down to 0. Push it down a little bit more. And then make it go in its 2 directions to kind of split the traffic to connect up to that to pass over. Again, standard connection. It's connected to that train station there, which I will probably eventually do like a little bypass route, but allows them to be connected over to here if needs be. I'll change this kind of connection up as well. So what I'll do here instead is I'll delete it to there. I know that train's going to get deleted right now. Bring that directly to there, and then have this get set up like that. So it's all intertwined and connected. So because of how slow the game's running as well, and I can't really speed it up to the most part. It'll take a while before we start utilizing and seeing any improvements come from this. Alright, so we'll see what happens now. And what I'll do is quickly pause, delete it from there, delete that from there, and using that 6-lane road. Again, this is the thing with this, with doing this series. I don't want to take away from my, I don't want to take away too much from my original plans for this city. I do want to semi-keep everything original. Just have to maneuver stuff here and there where it's possible. This is all elevated. Let me sort that out there. So we can either bypass straight through or cut into there. I don't know what they'll use the most, but we'll see what happens on that road. We'll see what happens. So hopefully that will then get the traffic or some of the traffic onto the trains driving through, which hopefully kind of semi-reduces the traffic on the roads. We'll leave it like that. Then we'll take a look at these junctions. So what I'm about to do right now will actually make the junctions slightly worse. It kind of will. But it won't get fixed until I sort this area out. So we'll make these junctions slightly worse. And I don't mean by design aspects or point of view. We're going to do what I originally wanted to do, but I didn't because I was waiting to see where the heavy flow of traffic comes from before I can initially then make my design ideas come into fruition. So we merge those into 2 lanes there. And I could potentially almost do the same with this, leading up and let it merge into 1. Which, I mean, I don't tend to put these into 2 lanes as we lead out. I tend to leave it as 1 lane to kind of go out. But I allow it to do so we can get the turning coming in. So how it will work on this then is if I get rid of all of it, we have this road that kind of passes, and they're 3 lanes, aren't they? So that's another thing as well. It kind of gets a bit funky with the 3-lane situation. But that goes over to there. That hooks to there. This is the lane that kind of comes in over that way. And this is the dedicated turning lane for there. So everyone has their systems. We just then have like almost like a semi-dead lane there, which will allow these lanes to kind of switch over. Should be fairly good. And then we have, this is our dedicated right turning. And this will throw over to there. Now this lane here, I'll also merge it over to there so it's not crossing the track of this lane. Just makes it a little bit better, easier to understand and whatnot. So that should be pretty fine. And then everyone has their own dedicated lane, their dedicated turning. It's all good. It's all good, boys. It's all good. And when it gets over to here then, we have the dedicated turning there. Actually, let me get rid of everything on it and we'll start from scratch. So this goes over to there, which will merge into that one. Just so we can have this freely turn in that direction. That is the right-hand turn just here, which also gets connected from that turn there. That will freely allow to pass over like that, and that is the turn just there. There we go. Simple, easy enough. Now, you could then argue traffic lights, timed traffic lights, kind of getting all that stuff set up. But I ain't going to worry about that too much just yet. I don't really want to worry about that stuff too much just yet, because that's not my main focus, because we might be able to reduce the majority of the traffic kind of coming through this area in other places, in other sections and whatnot. So we'll kind of see how it goes. We'll just kind of see how it goes, and then we'll progress pretty much from that point forward. So we'll leave it like that. There's still many, many improvements in which we can add on to it, but the great thing is they can initially split the lanes that they need to be in as they approach off. But from what we know is the majority of them want to make that left-hand turn. So, yeah. Now, my next thing is I'll come and do that junction in just a moment, but I want to kind of explain it just on this. I've extended the road going up where there's no kind of turning points until further on because I wanted to just get the bulk of the traffic out of this junction so I can play around with it. But now seeing how it's going down, I want to take a look at this. So if you take a look at this in terms, I think we can get a better view looking at the traffic, right? Ooh, kind of, yeah. So ignore the red marks. That's not what I'm focusing on. If you just think about it this way, we have the 6-lane road coming up here. we have a 6-lane road coming up here. Now, if I was to build something very similar like this, like today, like if I built a new city, what I wouldn't do is on the interchanges of the 6-lane roads crossing, have these junctions on the singular lanes so close. What I would normally do is place in, the cut-in junction road in the middle. So having these so close, I wouldn't do, and that is what is then potentially causing issues for the traffic. So if we work with this one, I'm going to pause it right now because a lot of destruction is going to now happen. So the junctions themselves, where we will initially see a lot of traffic, I don't want anything connecting to them. And I think we've got like this junction here, you can kind of see it. If I didn't have all these, I won't be stopping starting as much, but that is another issue going down relating to the island. So if I get rid of them on each of the junctions, because again, them connections are way too close, and I'll explain exactly what I'm going to do in just a moment. But every point where the 6-lane roads cross over, delete these. They're too close, they cause us issues, I don't like it, and it's not what I would do in the real world in terms of building cities today. So get rid of them. And what we're going to do is we're going to place in the cut-in in a different position. So there, again, too close. The city is that big right now, we got to move so much traffic, it's slightly laggy to try and delete stuff. I find that hilarious. Right, get rid of these. Now, it's not going to solve the issues, it's just going to make the junctions feel a little bit more free. Because I've, since last episode, you can kind of see the movements and how they interact and how they approach and things, but then you can start to see other stuff around the city that I wouldn't normally do today. So we've got rid of all of that, and before I press play, I've now isolated these middle parts. But the reason for it is, what I would normally do, so let's say we're going back to this junction here where the road was there, and there. I would have the connection, and I think I'll pick it from this one for this side, there. So it's before and after the junction. And then for this section here, where we had it there and there, too close, we place it in the middle. So you've got some distance between the two cut-ins for this area, thus keeping that junction slightly free. So we'll try and do it as much as we can around here. I got a weird underground tunnel there. I'll leave it for now until I figure out what I'm actually doing with it. And I could put a road connecting straight through here, but that will become a shortcut route, and I don't want that because then I'm causing a traffic line going through. So I bring that to there. This one I won't do it because it's a little bit too close, but we'll continue on to over here. And the next marker point is, right, we get that just right, just there. Bam, there we go. And then we sort this side out to there. Bam. And did we sort one out here? No, we haven't. There is a subway line just there. I would normally have to put it straight in the middle, but I can't, so we'll just make that one the victim. Again, I weren't going to put one there, which means I'm not going to put one on this side. Can I get rid of this without looking at the zoning? No, the zoning is going to always appear. So that one happened there, which means I'll make this one happen. I'll do it diagonal, so it's within that tunnel there. How did I do that one? It was a little bit further down the road, wasn't it? Yeah, maybe I do that instead. So I'll do it here, which could cause issues with this little section, but we'll see how it goes. Here I won't add it in, because the connection's just here. Or do I? No, actually I will. I'll place it in there. Right up to there, which means to there. There's a weird tunnel there I gotta sort out, but I'm just focusing on this little section. So that's to there, and then we've done everything on this side of the road. We'll now just do this little strip next. So we've done that connection there. There's no connection there. There's a connection just here which goes directly up to there. We've done that one. Then let's now do it sideways, which we have one there anyway, which we'll keep it in. For here, I'll go bam, bam. There's one just here. I can actually leave that as it was and have the connection on this side Now, actually, we'll bring it in, because that is what we're doing. We are trying to still make it functional. So over there, and then that will go to there. Connections up to there. We'll do this one to here, which goes over to there. Not one on that one. We'll do this to there, which goes to there. And then we're in the green area, the residential, which I've only deleted the roads on the commercial side. They're still connected up to this section, which we'll leave for now. I bet you there's 100% I've missed one. But we'll just see what happens. We'll see where the traffic comes from. And then we'll adjust it how we need. So there's a few buildings that now really, relied on having a road nearby. That I've now got rid of. So we have to reposition those buildings. And also as well, there's a lot of zoning that there's no building on currently. But we don't really have any demands in the city. So what building's this here? Police headquarters. I'll push it in on that side there to keep the traffic off. So that's not going to solve issues or problems on itself. It's just going to alleviate these bigger junctions from having traffic fall on them. Before I throw any management on them, traffic lights, lane kind of stuff and whatnot. So that should hopefully just tick along for us quite nice. Now, the argument then would be give way signs on this whole little system. So if you think about it, logically, if we didn't have traffic lights on this, you would then obviously make the traffic coming off the slip roads give way. Just so that the vehicles could pass through. And eventually when I've cleared that backlog coming through, then them vehicles can make their way. I've actually already cleared a nice big chunk of this, which is pretty sweet as well. Now, as time has passed, I'm actually starting to see cargo trains coming into this area, leading from this. So that's going to be beneficial for this area. I know we got some issues going on right now, which aren't probably the best thing for us. So what if I got rid of this awkward road coming in, and it's allowed it to be a normal T-junction? And this is vehicles coming in and out, isn't it? So if I set it up where you turned in, you go straight ahead, you go straight ahead. This one you turn there, this one you turn there, or you turn in here. This you turn in there, and these two are to go straight ahead. And we'll just leave it like that. Turn off the traffic lights so they continue to flow. There'll probably be issues here, there, and everywhere, but at least we can start to get it moving. And for the first time ever, this slip road is now clear. See, guys? You see? Please. No more shouty Seniac. I had to break the junction in the last episode so I could fix it at this junction. Okay? Okay, guys? Right, see? I've always got a game plan. Trust me, boys. Trust me. Have I ever let you down? Have I ever let you down at this point? So this junction's functioning pretty okay at the moment. So I'll just give it for this time. So this is my next problem right now. Now because I've changed so much of the roads and so many of the routes and whatnot around here, it's going to take a moment or two for them to update their routes, for current traffic to kind of clear and the current backlog to slowly move. It's just going to be one of those things, unfortunately. It's going to be one of those things, and because of how slow the game's running, it's going to feel like this traffic here is taking ages to move because I can't fast forward the game any more than I currently am. So we just have to play the waiting game in many ways. Now this has traffic lights in. I'm going to let it just do what it's got to do. Let it tick along on itself and not play around with it. And that should be pretty fun for us. Now there will be moments where this junction gets busy again. There will be moments that happens. So we'll just leave it to do what it's got to do. And I think for this area right now, I'm going to kind of leave it. It's a bit funky over here, especially with this roundabout section there, allowing the traffic to come in. It's a bit funky in places, but I'll leave it for now because there's other areas within the city that really need some working on. So the middle traffic right here, right now, is a single lane heading all the way up to this roundabout, which seems to have a slight issue. Now, this roundabout, by the looks of it, everyone's turning off to go down here. Everyone's coming onto here to go round to go out. So that is the major routes. We just got to make sure that they're able to flow a little bit easier. So Again, there's a lot of stuff I can do on this to make it work and, you know, to flow easier. I'm going to allow them to back, you know, to kind of continue to pass through. There's not really a lot I can do without redoing the whole of this. I just want to allow and make sure that they can, you know, drive through and not have to keep stopping, just to kind of keep a consistent flow. And hopefully that little backlog should kind of die over time. Alright, we're kind of getting there. So I'm not saying I've now increased the traffic flow, because I'm still at 59%. But you can kind of see where it is. Like this right now, because I've now changed the whole route, everyone gets backlogged up because they're trying to leave a certain area. So we just have to give it time. I just have to give it time right now. So these guys want to turn into here. Do you reckon they're... let me pick a vehicle at random. Where's your route? They're going through there. If I pick you... going up through there. So a lot of them want to kind of take the first immediate left-hand turn to get into this area, which just so happens to be that is the left-hand turn. There's not really that much traffic leading in. Now, is that lane, because this could also be a problem, is that lane also for straight ahead? If so, we can kind of solve it on that sense. There is traffic lights. There's not much traffic here waiting. So if I did get rid of traffic lights there, you know, every time that kind of flow moves along, these guys can cut in. So that should slowly move the traffic along as well. So once that truck is gone, a few of these will go in and slowly start to bring the queuing down. But also by having that dedicated turning lane as well, by doing my lane management, it's then made people who want to go straight ahead move into the middle lane to move forward. So it's handy for so many people. But again, it's going to take time. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. So all these little issues now, the little niggly bits that I need to fix, will come back at a later date and sort it out. Because we've got this area semi-moving, semi-flowing. I'm happy with the traffic flow right now. And the amount of trains coming out is pretty glorious too. A little bit jazzy over here. But again, I could have worse problems. Right. So where is now a really heavy area that we could work on? So we'll leave this for now. And like I said, guys, listen to me right now. This area still needs a lot of work on. But I'm going to leave it for now, so when we come back in the next episode, enough time would have passed by where the traffic that was redirecting itself has then moved on, and then by that time, I should then have an accurate representation of what the current traffic situation is. It's only because of how slow the game is now simulating. Now, we have a couple of little pockets over here. A little pocket just here and round here. So what is the issue on this side? So it looks like it's vehicles trying to get out, vehicles slightly coming in, and vehicles making a right-hand turn here. Well, let's start with this. That is not a comfortable position to be in right here. Right, we'll go with the 4-lane highway road. No, the 2-lane will come in with this. And we have to borderline create our very own version of a slip road. So that goes like that. Upgrade that to that. And it's just standard. Standard stuff. 2 across, 1 right. 2 straight, 1 right. Switchy over. That's a new term, isn't it? And then that turns into there. Or goes straight ahead. And voila. I'll get rid of traffic lights there. Get it to the junction, they flow through. Same on this one in all directions. Because the initial point in there, they're doing a 90-degree turn, is what the issue is. They're trying to take that 90-degree turn right now, which for those guys is not working out. Now, do we have lane management on this? No. So if these right now are... yeah, they should be able to continue to go straight forward. Yeah, and again, it will take a minute or two for them to update their routes. But that should keep this area slightly flowing. Fingers crossed. And then we have this issue. So we do have traffic lights here, which I'm going to get rid of on both. Okay, there's none there. We'll get rid of them on that one. Which allows us then to have the traffic making that, which would for them be a right-hand turn, a lot easier. Again, it all comes down to the fact that it's a 90-degree turn, which makes them slow down. It's a funky setup, this. I don't know what I was going for originally. But again, I want to try and keep it semi normal. Oh, hold on. We got that road coming out to the end here, which will make a great little on and off slip road. But we have a backlog of vehicles in the traffic over here. Now, this is for... I think the majority of these are trying to go and turn to go into this area. So we got to sort the roundabout out. Now, I could do like a giveaway sign and all that jazz, but with the amount of backlog, the amount of traffic that needs to use this, it's probably not going to be that handy for them. It probably isn't. So let's sort it out as we split it into a 2-lane. There we go. And right, let me sort. So this is the turning lane for that. If you wanted to go a right turn, you're going to jump into this lane. Otherwise, jump into that lane. That goes straight ahead. Yeah, push it all over. So, rather than doing the giveaway signs, I'm just kind of setting it up as a system to kind of clear some traffic. I've allowed them to pass over like that. I will, if I do a giveaway sign for these guys have to give way, which is, you know, the complete opposite to what you would normally do on a roundabout. We can kind of set up some magic, but it's not going to... Where does that road lead to? It leads to this area. Which that area, bypassing through there, you could quite easily take the highway round. So what if I got rid of that whole system there? Which would reduce the amount of vehicles trying to go round. Just take the highway round to pull into that area. I might then be putting a lot of stress onto this junction, which then at that point, I'll have to extend the road down to connect up further. But you have a whole highway there you could use. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, boys? So that'll take a minute or two right now for that junction to sort itself out. But I think it's a really good idea too, to have a little slip happen just here. Oh, what happened there? Oh, I know what happened. You ain't gonna tell me. A little bit of a slip road just here. Because that in itself leading up to the highway gets traffic in and out of the area. But what it will also do as well is these... Oh, that's cleared enough anyway. I was going to say, these guys coming down here that was doing a left-hand turn. Or, you know, could go literally go straight out and lead up to there. So we'll just see what happens. We'll just see what happens. So traffic is going to take a little bit of time to clear. But what might also be handy is where that kind of goes out and goes there. They might be turning off here to go around to come back down. Have this kind of go over. So this is going to be a very loose junction. Again, don't think that this is going to stay because it's not. This is now solely to kind of get them to first move until I add a proper junction in this area. So I know it's terrible, but we're going to throw this in here, and I want to see how many people start using this turn off. Okay, guys, so before you scream at me in the comment section, it's just a tester. I'm breaking the junctions before I fix them, just so I can understand how many vehicles want to take that left-hand turn, which a couple are already doing it, so please leave me alone. Which by doing that then stops them coming round this roundabout to go down to there, which will allow this now to clear through. Simple fixes. Simple fixes we are trying to attempt. So we've cleared this bit, we've cleared this, but we still have the little backlog of trying to get out still and coming up here to get out. So now because I got rid of this connection to over there, it's now going to push everything in a different direction. So what I can see initially is traffic lights are here, which I'll get rid of. And I'm also going to say to these guys, you can't cross the road on this area too. Let them all flow through. And we'll dedicate that as a turning lane here. That as a turning lane here. that is the lane to go straight ahead. And which means that then these can freely turn. Again, it's more than a 90 degree, so they really do have to slow down. We'll set this to be the turn in there, that to go straight ahead, and that to turn that way, just so I can kind of get them off the crossing section there. And over time now, that would slowly make this backlog come through, make that backlog slowly move, because no one's crossing over, well, going that way and coming this way. They're not crossing over their paths, which is the big issue. And then we're just going to get, you know, some stopping and starting happening. So it'll take a minute to clear that backlog, but once it does, hopefully we've got something special on the scene. We're going to get more traffic in this area now as this backlog slowly clears, but it is moving down, which is a good sign. Very good sign right now. This junction's still holding up. How's this one? See, I've got to, what I did to this one, I've got to do to this one. But as long as we're kind of okay for now, we'll leave it for just a hot minute. That left-hand turn here has now disappeared. The backlog going through here all the way up to here has now disappeared. Positive steps, boys. Positive steps. And the traffic flow is now up to 81%. So at the moment, we're only really seeing an issue here. But I'll leave it for now, because you never know what happens when it clears all out. Progress, mate. Progress happening right now. So again, just got to give it time to clear out. That's all we can do. That's all we can do right now. Right, okay, sweet. Right, the right-hand turn's now cleared out. We just got the backlog here as they kind of sort themselves out. But again, it should clear as time goes on. That's slowly moving. We'll see what happens. So let's look at a different area then. Oh my goodness me, there is some congestion going down here right now. So what is this area majority in? Is a lot of industry, right? Which we could utilize with some... We have a backlog here. Now, if I can remember correctly, there wasn't a tunnel, right? Goes down here. A weird 90 degree. I remember this. And it cuts out to there. So, if I can grab the tunnel... Delete the tunnel, because it doesn't really make much sense. Now the problem is that tunnel there, the highway, goes up to here, which is going to make them turn off here, which is going to cause a lot of traffic issues on this junction right now. It's going to cause a lot of issues there. So I need a better system, a better junction to enable him to get these guys in and out of this area. So right now they're passing through to go under to this side. Now, if I could get them to maybe get on the highway instead, they'll come down here, turn off to there, up to there, which is already quite a busy junction, so maybe not just yet. But instead, we create an overpass. So we're creating like this type of junction here. Here instead. But then again, we have this junction there that they could use to kind of go in the direction that they want, which is also possible. But let me first take a look at this. So let me learn where they're going first then. So you're going that way, you're going that way, that way, that way. So it's a little bit of a mixture of a right and left, isn't it? A little bit of a mixture of a right and left. So if I didn't have the slip road here, and they were just instantly, you know, taking that route, we need to kind of create something then. Oh, there's a tunnel here. Sometimes, guys, I'm still amazed by what I used to do in this game. I really am. So, we have a lot of garbage over on this section. Let's try and do something then. So, a lot of traffic is leading in. So if I create too much... Yeah, it's coming in. If I create too much of a good junction... But then again, I haven't really done anything with this area. So I can solve that at a later date. It's all about getting the vehicles onto the highway. Is the main... Get rid of this airport for one. Right, there we go. Where's that bridge there going? So that's turning off there to cut into there. Fair enough. It just doesn't need to be a 3-lane road though, does it? It really doesn't. Okay, so. Let's first start with this. So what I can do here is we'll use 2 lanes, and we'll take it from here. We'll come out by 10, and here we'll come out by 10. So we'll use these roads. This one. And I could potentially use it as this type of road. So I have an inlet and an outlet. Same on that side. Just to kind of create something here very loosely. And, alright, if I pick it from there. 10. Alright, 10 by 12. We'll roll with it. Let me delete that there. 10 by 12. So what I'm going to do here is just very loosely have this type of connection. Now, this is not going to stay. I can guarantee you that right now. Because it's too close to this junction. But what it will allow me to do is just to initially filter the traffic out of the region. Because we have such a huge backlog that's currently in here. I need to initially get that traffic out. There we go. So I need to get all this traffic out of here before I can start creating some better systems and some dedicated routes. So this will enable me to kind of bring traffic in and out from both sides of the highway. Which, as it stands, if I go underground, you can see it's just going to take a minute before that clears, which is going to overfill that junction, but I'll have to give it time. So this area, I'm just going to have to do what I can do to get traffic moving before we can create something more dedicated, potentially in the next episode. So please, whatever I do right now, it's not going to stay. Don't scream at me, please. And we'll see what happens. So we could also utilize as well from this area, not having so many roads connecting to it. Because again, that's the kind of the issue we had before. So if I delete you, but keep you, I then make the road here go straight across, go straight across, go straight across. Bit funky, but there we go. Creates only one point of access, reducing the amount of stopping and starting these guys need to do on this road. And I feel like these are not being utilized. I have that suspicion that they're not really being utilized. They don't really work. So I need to set up something like cargo related to get the trains in and out. But that will slowly start to move itself right now. That will clear this corner a bit. You start seeing more vehicles now using this, able to pass through. And we'll set up traffic lights or turn them off there. Where that is obviously to turn that way. That is to go straight on, straight on. And we'll use this to have its own dedicated turning point there. So no one's really stopping them from making that turn. So they can filter out a whole lot easier. And again, we're going to cause a lot of issues for this junction. But it will take some time. So I'm just going to simply have it set up like this. You can come in from this side. You can exit from this side. No traffic lights. And leave it like that. So we can have a constant flow of vehicles moving in. And really, thinking about it, if they're coming in and turning there, they're either going to turn that way or go straight out and turn back out again. So, but then again, you know, you got to pick your battles. You have to pick your battles at that point. They're all turning out that way, so that will get some vehicles moving out. And this area is going to be a huge work in progress. So, yeah, where have you just come from? You know, I don't think I've actually seen any ships, to be honest with you. I don't think I have. So if I delete these, but what the good thing was about these is they're utilizing roads to pass over to cut back in. So if I was to place them back in, cargo, oh, they can be used. Weirdly enough. But I haven't seen any ships. So why don't I utilize one there, one there. So bear with me on this, because there's a lot of monstrosity now going down. And how this is now working is, that's connected up to there. This, in reality, you wanted it connected to there. That filters out that way. That, which is currently plus 18 for some reason, filters out there. Now ignore how mental that is. Okay, ignore how mental that is. I just want to see if we are actually getting ships coming in that can drop goods off and export goods, because it doesn't mean that vehicles can get down to here. Then I can potentially hook up the train line to it to, you know, connect goods out, thus reducing the amount of industrial traffic around these areas. But I'm placing those in just to initially see if I can get boats coming in, and if they do get to this point. If not, we'll get rid of them. We'll create a better system. We'll create a better system at that point. But yeah, vehicles are now moving. Slowly starting to rock and roll. We're slowly starting to see some movement now, which is good to see. These are all trying to filter over in that way. So if I set this up as well, where there was also no traffic lights there, and you're going to get that crisscross happening as well, but just to kind of slowly keep them moving is what I really want. I could even get rid of that road there, and have them all come from these two junctions, which I actually think is a better idea. Because you don't want connections all the time. You're just asking for trouble. I'm trying to see or zoom out, see if I can see any boats coming in. That's one thing I've never seen, is an actual... Oh, any ships, to be honest with you. Ships could be literally broken in this game. I don't know. I don't fully know. But I'm just glancing back over at my areas right now. That road's still moving. Everything's still flowing over here. The backlog's slowly disappearing, but we do need to set something up. Is there issues in terms of filtering traffic over on this side? Is there traffic lights? No. I think it's more a case of they naturally stop themselves. So if I allow them to continue to flow, that will kind of clear this road as time goes on and get more vehicles moving in. Okay, okay. And how are we doing over here then? So we actually still have that backlog leading out. And that is more of a fact of the sheer amount of vehicles we have coming in. So allowing these guys to just tear through this area might help us out slightly, but they're doing 90-degree turns, which they have to like almost come to a full-on stop when they're making that turn. But it should push it through anyway. We'll just, you know, tick along. We're ticking at this moment right now. We're just ticking along, but we really have, you know, made some huge improvements in that area, and it's looking all good. The city's got issues in general. It really has, and we've actually dropped below 40,000 residents as well. 400,000. But traffic flows are still at 61%, but we can now start to see where it's moving. But I'm just now literally waiting for that traffic to move. How's that junction over here? It's not too bad. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Get rid of the lights there to keep it moving. Starting to see a little bit of traffic up to there. I reckon we're getting no boats. That's what I reckon, right? Oh no, cargo ships are coming in. Okay, that's good. That's a good sign already. So at least we got something going down right now. Okay, sweet. So now we're getting this happening. We are experiencing a lot of traffic in this area. I think we've cleared now the big bulk of it to the point where I'm now going to get rid of this. So I was just trying to clear some traffic before we set up something a little bit more solid. But we definitely do need a better connection to this area. So they're going to now return back to using this section. But I don't see why they can't use this. Turn off there and go in and cut in. Maybe they would. Maybe they would. I don't know. I don't think I gave them enough time, really. Did I? I don't think I did. But yeah, a couple of vehicles now driving through this bit. They're just literally to bypass it to kind of lead out. So I'm not really seeing much happen from there. If I did kill off this and created like a trumpet junction leading in, that might be handy. But I don't want to put too much traffic leading in that direction because this whole junction setup here is kind of shocking as well. It's a fun one, this. It's a fun one that's got my brain thinking overtime. Right, we'll leave it for now. Because the huge backlog that we did cause, I'm going to wait for that to kind of now slightly clear. We've managed to get a big bulk of the vehicles out of this area, which is pretty good. A lot of them are now driving down to this junction, which might be the answer for us. We'll just see what happens. So, I want to look underground. We're at a 63%, so we've done, again, some more improvements. That's moving slightly. We've got issues on this little crisscross over here right now. So, these are not issues that are impossible. These are really simple fixes. Really simple fixes. So, for this area, it's because the highway goes underground so early, I need a good highway connection, and it's going to have to be around here. Even if it's just like a slip road to go in one direction rather than a full-on junction, it will be really, really helpful. That really would be really helpful, and that will solve a lot of traffic over here. Now the ships are coming over, I can hook up this industrial area here to the train network, which will solve a lot of issues, kind of like what happened down here. These guys have still got traffic leading off to this. The backlog is cleared. It's now free-flowing until this point, so it's still slowly moving. I could do with... Now, are these have a dedicated right turn straight on to kind of help us out on that front. So at least everyone's going to be in the right lane, but the majority of them are turning there. Now, what if I created... Like, if I got rid of this road and then over on this side... I created a full-on proper junction like that came into there. Is that asking for too much? Or maybe if I set this junction up correctly like that one, deleted this junction, that they would then have to turn off here to drive down. Which then it has its own flow... Excuse me? Why is Siri listening to me? Which has then its own little setups to bring people in. There's many ways in which we can approach on this, but... It all comes down, what do you want to do? That's what it comes down to. But we've managed to up it anyway. 62%. It's not amazingly huge improvements, but it's all pumping in the right direction. It definitely is. So I'm really happy we've now kind of sorted this out. This can go for the same process if needs be. We've sorted a lot of the issues now through this whole area. There's still a few. Still a few. But the majority of the traffic is now free flowing. And it's just now focused on this. So we tackled the big problems, and then the small problems should then solve themselves. This junction is now really, really free. So where does it push the traffic to? Just here, which is slowly moving. Oh, I was going to say, this junction is going to be really bad, but it's not that bad. Where's it gone? Where's traffic? It's actually not that bad around here right now. It's just clearing the backlog, sorting out a proper crisscross section over here. And then maybe clearing this. This and a junction here that anybody likes. Let them fly, spread their wings and fly out. But obviously clearing all this, pushing it down here, means I've got to sort out the roads leading up to here as well. But I feel like it just needs a simple highway connection, if I'm honest with you. But we'll end over here. Let me know what you guys think about this. We've made some improvements. Again, because of how messed up and how crazy this city is, this is why we turned it into a little mini-series. It ain't going to be solved in a couple of episodes. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And until next time, can't wait to see the comment section. I'll see you all soon. So, good.